US has sent 20,000 missiles bound for Ukraine to Middle East instead.
Prime Minister Pham Chinh attends UN Ocean Conference.
Nghệ An real estate market. Which segment is dominating?
Hello, so good to see you again in today's news. I'm Truyen, and here we go, the first part of the show. The Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reported that the United States has directed 20,000 missiles originally intended for Ukraine to combat Russian-shared drones to the Middle East.
Zelensky's statement was recently published by ABC News on June 8. Accordingly, the Ukrainian leader said that instead of going to Kiev, the large number of missiles were delivered to U.S. forces in the Middle East. Zelensky said that in the past, Ukraine had been looking forward to these missiles to deal with Russia's continuous UAV attacks. According to him, the plan to transfer the 20,000 anti-UAV missiles mentioned above was agreed upon with the then U.S. Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, and took initial steps under the administration of President Joe Biden.
Russia claimed Sunday that its forces are for the first time pushing into the central Ukrainian region of Dnipropetrovsk, an area it has been trying to reach for months, in a move that could create new problems for Kiev's much-stretched forces.
According to the Russian Ministry of Defense, subunits from the Russian military's 90th Tank Division reached the border of Dnipropetrovsk with the Donetsk region, large parts of which are already under Russian occupation. It is unclear how far Russian forces have advanced into Dnipropetrovsk. A spokesman for Ukraine's Kortitsia forces rejected Russia's information, saying it was not true. But if confirmed, the Russian advance would be a setback for Ukrainian forces at a time when peace talks have stalled. The Russian advance would also put further pressure on the Ukrainians' grip on the town of Pokrovsk, a key hub that has been under Russian assault for months.
63 heads of state and government leaders arrived in the French city of Nice to attend the United Nations Ocean Conference. The Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham, his spouse, and a high-level delegation just attended the conference.
Taking place from June 9 to 13, this conference will focus on the issue of protecting marine plankton. The conference is an opportunity for world leaders to discuss and find solutions and commitments for marine conservation in the coming decades. At the conference, Vietnamese Prime Minister Pham Chinh will represent ASEAN countries to deliver an important speech, affirming ASEAN's consistent stance on promoting multilateralism in international law, including the 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, to address common challenges related to the sea and ocean.
Upcoming are some updated news.
Vietnam Television has just coordinated with the Ninh Binh Provincial People's Committee to organize the opening ceremony of the Vietnam Robot Creation Contest, RoboCon 2025, with the theme, Basketball Warriors. The event draws the participation of 32 teams from universities, academies, and technical colleges across the country. The RoboCon 2025 theme, Basketball Warriors, requires the teams to design robots capable of real-time opposition and team coordination. Mirroring a live sports match, the winning team from this final round will represent Vietnam at the Abu RoboCon 2025 competition, scheduled to be held in Mongolia in August. The final round will run through to June 13.
The Vietnam Maritime Administration has just submitted to the Ministry of Construction the draft detailed plan for the development of Nghệ An seaports by 2030, with a vision to 2050. According to the plan, the total investment demand for Nghệ An seaports by 2030 is about 16,000 billion Vietnamese dong. Nghệ An seaport will include the Nam Cua Lo, Bac Cua Lo, Dong Hoi, Ben Thuy, Cua Hoi wharf areas and anchorage areas, aiming to serve the volume of goods passing through from 22 to 26 million tons. including from 180,000 to 240,000 TEU of container cargo. The plan also sets out the goal of developing 9 ports and 27 to 29 wharves, with a total length of up to more than 5.600 meters. With a vision to 2050, Nghệ An Seaport will continue to develop new ports and achieve an average cargo growth rate of 3.6 to 4.5% per year.
In May 2025, Nghệ An's industrial production continued to achieve impressive growth, estimated to increase by 18% compared to the same period last year. Specifically, the processing and manufacturing industry saw a 19% rise. Electricity production and distribution increased by 17%, while the mining and water supply industries also experienced significant growth. Many new projects in the fields of electronic components, automobiles, and renewable energy have commenced operations, contributing positively to the provincial economy. Overall, for the first 5 months of 2025, Nghệ An's industrial production index increased by 14% year-on-year.
The real estate market nationwide is showing many signs of recovery after a period of stagnation. In Nghe An, although land prices have increased, the small, low-cost land segment in the suburbs has recorded an increase in transaction volume. This is considered a safe destination for personal cash flow in the context of uncertain market. More in the story.
As someone who has researched the Nghệ An real estate market over many years, Dr. Truong Quang Nan believes that if real estate is divided into high-cost and low-cost segments, the low-cost segment is being targeted by investors because it has a moderate price, suitable for officials, employees and workers with low incomes.
Phân loại theo giá thành.
For Nghệ An, the real estate segment with low cash flow is very good for investors with low capital to invest to create profitable value.
Although real estate prices increase in 2025, the demand for real estate transactions in the province is still quite active, making investors expect that the real estate market in the province will have a certain recovery.
Compared to last year, real estate prices this year have increased by 30 to 40%, but people still buy a lot. Real estate prices have increased due to changes in state tax rates.
With stable economic development, increasingly complete traffic infrastructure and investment attraction policies from local authorities, the real estate market in Nghệ An in 2025 is forecasted to have many positive changes, bringing great opportunities for both investors and home buyers. However, according to experts, to bring certain profits, investors need to have knowledge and be cautious in investment decisions.
We must evaluate, analyze, and synthesize the impact of the state's macro policies and the adjustment of land price frameworks in Nghệ An province. This will impact the process of operating and managing real estate in a complete and formal manner.
The real estate market is expected to improve this year. However, the recovery will continue to be differentiated and there may be risks due to old backlogs that need time to be processed. When the market is strongly restructuring, choosing the right segment at the right time is a vital factor.
The last story to end our show today. Thank you so much for your attention. Goodbye and see you later.